Yo 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 yo.
I'm DJ Envy.
And I go by the name of Charlamagne the God with the world's most dangerous morning show, The Breakfast Club.
And currently we are on vacation.
Man, totally disconnected.
Yes.
We're not even really here. You think you're listening to us, but we're not.
Well, we are not. We're here in spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to be playing some of our top interviews and some throwbacks. So, keep it locked. Red is going to be running the boards. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake it up. This is your time to get it off your chest.
Keep calling.
800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
It's Courtney from Grand Rapids, Michigan. What's happening?
Courtney, what up, though? Get it off your chest.
What up, though? I wanted to send some positive energy this morning. But Envy, you said that we don't have enough money in America for metal detectors at every store?
Every business? I don't think so.
We definitely got enough money for it. We just spend the money in the wrong places, on the wrong things.
That's what I'm talking about. Listen, man, we just spent all them billions of dollars to Ukraine, and we talking about we don't got no money for ourselves. Come on, man.
That's right. We got it. We just don't spend it on us.
Hello, who's this?
This is Shah.
Shah, what up? Get it off your chest.
Yeah, the colonoscopy you did, I had to do one, but I didn't do the colonoscopy. I did a Cologuard.
What the hell is that?
What is a Cologuard?
A Cologuard is when you just poop in a jar and put the liquid in and send it in.
I ain't never heard of that.
I never heard of that.
I think somebody cloned you, baby. They just needed a little DNA sample from you.
No, there's commercials for it and everything. That's how I heard about it. And they said, as long as I don't have no history of colon cancer, I can go and do the Cologuard.
Yeah,
so
they didn't
did you
offer that
poop
option.
in the toilet and take it out the toilet and then put it in the jar?
That's
No. The jar goes on the toilet.
Oh.
Lala's here, by the way.
That's Lala Anthony
Lala's here, by the way.
jumping in the poop convo.
I'm just curious on how it works.
I never heard that one.
Look it up.
Okay, and so what do you send it in and then they call you with your results?
They called me, it was negative. Mine was negative.
Okay.
They send me a letter in the mail.
I think you need a second opinion, Queen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That sounds crazy.
Where you from?
No, go Georgia.
Georgia. Okay. Well, thank you, Mama. I'm gonna look it up though.
It's called a Cologuard.
Cologuard. All right.
Cologuard.
Hello, who's this?
That's Nick, the trucker out of Plant City.
Nick, what up? Get it off your chest.
Hey, I want to talk about that time I seen you at the airport, Envy.
What airport you see me at?
At the Tampa airport in Florida, you had on white jeans and a Giant jersey.
Dominican, classic Dominican
I
look.
did not have on white jeans.
Is that not the classic Dominican look in New York?
It's pretty classic.
I did not have on no damn white jeans and no
White
Giants
jeans and
jersey,
the giant
man.
blue Giants jersey.
Nah, that's how I know it was you. Because when you dapped me up and gave me a hug, you got paint all over my fresh white tee.
Wow. Because of the Beijing.
Oh, my goodness. Nick, goodbye,
I
man.
knew it was you. Hey, let me shout out my wife real quick.
Go ahead, Nick.
Okay.
Hey, our anniversary next month on the 14th. I just want to say happy early anniversary, but we 10 years in, trying to see 50 more. And I'm a truck driver, but I ain't going to do it for you, Envy, because y'all made fun of my horn the last time.
Oh, blow your horn. Pause.
You gotta stop telling
Nah,
men.
you made fun of it the last time.
Blow it. Let me hear it. Pause.
Stop telling men to blow, bro.
Yeah, that's why we made fun of that little ass horn. That's why you making fun of me, that little ass. You better get a bigger truck. That's what you need.
Hey, you owe me $5 for a new white tee. That's what it is.
Goodbye, man. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. Lala's here.
Lala Anthony is here. She's our guest host this morning.
That's right. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
It's my love for my. It's a new day.
This is your time to get it off your chest.
Wake up.
Whether you're mad or blessed.
It's time to get up and get something.
Call up now. 800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
How you doing, man? This is Robert in Jacksonville, Florida. I'd like to thank y'all for motivating me and keeping my head up. I started my own business, and I'd like to thank y'all for that.
Okay, what's your business, bro?
I have a junk removal business. I do eviction trash outs, and I basically pick up debris and any junk that you're trying to get rid of, like mattresses,
That's
sofas,
smart.
stuff like that you're throwing out. I pick it up and I haul it to the dump.
That's a big business, and if it's some good stuff, you resell it, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's called the Get It Gone, guys. I'm in Jacksonville,
man.
Florida.
Congratulations, brother.
Yes, sir. Can I give my business a shout out and leave my number on the line for some business?
Go ahead, man.
Yes, Mr. Get It Gone, guys. The phone number is 904-489-6824. 904-489-6824 to Get It Gone, guys. We do all your junk removal and items you're trying to get removed.
All right, brother.
Yes, sir.
Hello, who's this?
Yo, Big Chocolate the Toe Sucker. How we doing, man?
Oh, God.
So listen, two quick things. Now listen. I'm sitting here trying to enjoy my breakfast. Y'all got to stop all this I love you talk, all right? And Envy, be careful, protect yourself, brother.
Hey,
what?
Can you say good morning to Lala? Say good morning to people before you just start talking, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, Lala, how you feel?
Hey, I just wanted to address the toe sucker part.
No, you don't.
Oh,
no,
okay. I'm a toe sucker for hire if you so desire, girl. I saw you last night and think like a man. I was looking for the pretty toes, but I didn't see them. What's up?
What you mean? I had shoes on. My feet are nice. What are you talking about?
The next movie, I want to see some toes, baby, all right?
Oh, Lord.
Go ahead, man. Finish what you got to say.
All right, yeah. So listen, now all this I love you talk. Envy, be careful. Don't bend over in front of Charlamagne. You got them all turned on and worked up. Say peace.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, what's up, man? It's Ciofalo from MIA.
What's up, bro? Get off your chest.
I just want you guys to pray for my daughter. Got a new client. She's on the 14th, and she's a preemie, 24 weeks.
Oh, man.
She's a baby 24 weeks early. All right, definitely pray.
Definitely
Prayers
sending
up,
our healing,
prayers up.
Angie, and putting prayers up.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, good luck, brother.
And then I got something for you on DJ.
What you got? All right.
Damn, he just blew you without asking.
I know, right?
Oh, my God.
Have a good one, man. Hello, who's this?
It's Terrence down here in Newport News. How y'all doing?
757. What up, Terrence? Get it off your chest.
What? I'm sitting in a country where the previous president and the former president both under federal investigation.
Well, Biden,
Man, we might as well.
Well, Biden's not under federal investigation yet, and I doubt they will because of, the whole double standard. Merrick Garland might not do the same thing to President Biden, but we'll see.
But the way it's looking, I thought they're trying to legalize criminalization, where you see inmates in prison running a campaign. I'll be home in 90 days. Vote for me.
I feel you, my brother.
Y'all have a good day.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, you can hit us up.
And La Lizzie has joined us. She came in hot this morning. She came in hot.
Came in hot. Came in hot. Got some things on my mind.
All right, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, you can holler at us. Lala's here. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
It didn't work out the way I had planned, but it's not something I would want to do again. But I did it. So I'm talking about people who are saying they have no interest in ever doing it or wanting to do it. Mm-hmm. It's not like a goal of people, and even people that are in relationships, a lot of them are not saying like the goal for our relationship is to get married. It's like the goal is to be together, have a dope relationship, and be companions forever. But people are not feeling like this. The measure of success in relationships is like getting married.
But do you feel like not getting married is the easy way out? Meaning, when you first get married, and let's say you and Mello, or me and Gia, or Charlamagne and his wife, when y'all have problems, y'all married. Y'all have to work through it. It's not like you can say, I'm out, I'm one. Y'all have to work through it. Y'all married. So there's going to be good times and bad times.
Through sickness and in health.
But if you're not married and somebody gets on your nerves, you can just be like, you know what, I don't want to deal with it. I'm out. So it doesn't make the relationship as strong because there's nothing binding to you, because it's almost like I can be out when I want to be out.
Right, but for a lot of people, they'll say that the reason that they don't just want to be out is because it's a business agreement. There's paperwork between the two of you. So if I get out, now I got to deal with splitting assets or anything like that, or dealing with lawyers and paperwork, and people don't want to do that. So it's like, is it a union of love, and like Charlamagne just said, till death do us part, or is it a piece of paper that's binding two people? I always say marriage is really easy to get in and really hard to get out. It's not. It's hard to get out, and people don't really understand that when you're dealing with lawyers and what you have to pay and things like that. It's really hard to get out.
I wonder if this is more of a product of us being disconnected because of technology and social media. Like, folks don't have real connections anymore, and they aren't making real connections anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder if this is just a byproduct of that. Like, people not being able to establish real connections anymore. So there is no goal to be married, because there's no goal to even make a real connection.
Well, it was always a goal because my parents are married, right? And they're still married to this day, 50, 60 years married, or 50, whatever it is. But for me, it's like, yeah, every marriage we have our problems, right? You get into arguments, you get into fights, it takes communication, it takes work. But the happiest days of my life is being married. My wife comes home today and I'm excited. Like I'm happy. She's happy. Like we can't wait to see each other because
I get it.
It's laying next to my wife. But it's also I met her at 15.
That's what I was about to say.
16.
There was nothing.
There was nothing. I had glasses and braces and acne. And
you was a nerd then. You a nerd now.
Watch your mouth.
And she loved that nerd the whole way through.
Watch your mouth.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Listen,
I'm not a nerd now.
I get what you're saying. I love being married. I've been blessed to be with the same person for almost 25 years, so that's my best friend. I was able to marry my best friend. But that's what I go back to. We were able to establish a real connection.
In a time where you weren't dealing with social media and the way people aren't even talking to each other anymore.
That's
it's DMs, it's apps, it's all these other things, but that connection of like talking to someone again, that's not happening anymore. So what I'm saying is this conversation that you guys just shared with me about both of your marriages, I'm saying people are hearing that less and less and less.
Right.
And marriage, imagine young people dating are saying dating is no longer a priority because they have better things to do.
But are people getting married because they're actually best friends? Like they really are friends? Or is it she look good, he look good, let's get married, we got money?
I don't even think people are taking the time to connect with someone enough to call them their best friend.
Right. So what a couple goals then? When everybody be online and they be like, Sierra and Russell, couple goals, who this person is couple goals, what are those? What does that mean? They just want to be booed up?
Well, here's the thing. Like, obviously, Sierra's one of my best friends, and she has an incredible marriage, and Russell's an incredible guy and an incredible relationship. I will just say that, to me, I'm happy that I'm able to see that because that's not the norm of what I see. That's not the norm of what I see. So I'm happy that I'm able to have that example, to still have that hope that that kind of love and connection really does exist, but that's not the norm of what I see.
That's good, because what she's saying is true, because the norm of what we see is the guy cheating and then the woman expected to always be there. Right. You know what I mean?
But not only that, think about it like this. If you take care of your wife or your girl and you do too much, they call you a simp. You're a sucker. You're doing too much. You this way. But that's your queen. Aren't you supposed to take care of your best friend, your queen, your girl, your love, your life? Aren't you supposed to give flowers? Aren't you supposed to do those things?
Right.
That's what my dad taught me. That's what my dad did to my mom.
Right. Yeah. But I'm just saying, again, it goes back in this day and age, that's not how it's looked at
Last
anymore.
question before we go to the phone lines. What do you tell your son about marriage?
It's an interesting and sometimes difficult conversation because we're all products of what we saw growing up.
Correct.
So unfortunately, my son saw a failed marriage. He does still see two people that genuinely love and care about each other and are amazing parents to him, and we work collectively as a unit. But he did see a broken marriage.
Gotcha.
So I don't expect him to view marriage as this incredible thing because I saw my parents not be married anymore. That's his view on it. So I have to tell him, like, that's not, you can meet someone and love them and fall in love and want to get married, and it's a beautiful thing. And then it's like, but mom,
gotcha.
Look, I don't like that failed marriage talk, though. I don't think that the marriage failed just because two people, grew apart or whatever.
Right.
Like, it don't mean that you failed. Y'all did that.
We did it, and we did it for a long time.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I was when it was good, it was good.
That's right.
Hello, who's this?
Vanessa.
Hey, Vanessa. Good morning.
Hey, Vanessa.
Hey, Lala.
We're saying, is marriage still a goal, Vanessa?
Marriage is still very much a goal of mine.
How old are you?
I'm 36.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So what you waiting on?
Are you dating? You got a man? How's it looking?
I am dating with a purpose.
Okay.
Ooh, explain. I like
so
that.
The thing about me is I'm a very confident. I'm very tall, but I'm beautiful. So, like, my standards are high. Everybody says sometimes I need to lower my standards. I refuse to date anybody short.
That's disrespectful. You disrespectful.
But you know what?
You're going to miss your blessing.
Now, my assistant is 6'3", and I tell her the same thing. I'm like, you're not going to find somebody taller. Like, it's not as many people.
First of all, have you seen your assistant's bangs? Mercedes is a very pretty girl, but somebody needs to draw them bangs back like blinds.
Shut up. Leave her bangs alone, man. Leave her bangs alone, man. Go ahead, Vanessa.
But the thing about it is like, I have friends and, like, friends who are married, friends who are single, and we all talk. And I really listen to my married friends about, like, their marriage and stuff like that. Sometimes it does turn me off when I hear things about men cheating, women cheating. And I'm just like, what is the purpose? Right. But then I'm still, like, very, very hopeful that, I don't think like Charlamagne say, all black men don't cheat. I don't think all black men do cheat, but I do think at some point in time, men have cheated at one point in time in their lives.
Queen, God is telling me to tell you this right now. I just got this download from God. Your blessing is 5'5".
Yo, shut up, man.
Your blessing is 5'5",
No,
5'6".
he's not.
You missing your blessing because you want to keep your
Vanessa,
head to the sky. You should be optimistic,
Vanessa,
yes, but
he's
you
right.
gotta look down a little bit, boo.
He's right. Like, don't block your blessing.
Charlamagne, I also wear heels.
I
Like,
don't
when wear
care.
heels,
I
I'm
know.
6'5".
Your blessing is 5'6".
How about look dating a 5'5" man? That's my child.
You look happy. You'll look happy. That's what you'll look like.
I cannot be happy.
Yes, you will. Vanessa, don't block your blessing. I tell my assistant at the same time. And let me ask you a question. Do people do this to you all the time? They come up to you and act like they playing basketball and post you up?
Yes.
Charlamagne does Charlamagne does that all the time.
I did play basketball. If I tell a man like I play basketball, he'd be like, "Oh, I can school you on the court," and I'd be like, "I don't want to do that."
You
But
do.
That's not what I want.
Do you know that? Do you know Jesus probably was 5'5"? Because the average height of men around that time was 5'5". Scholars have said this. Y'all are missing y'all blessings, not dating short men.
I agree with you.
Okay.
I agree with you.
800-585-1051. Is marriage still a goal? It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Steady calling my phone.
It's topic time. Call 800-585-1051 to join into the discussion with the Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our special guest host, Lala, joining us today. And she was talking about marriage. And we're asking, is marriage still a goal? And La, for herself, she said, no. You don't want to get married.
No, because I've done it already. I've checked it off the list. I've done it already. It was good while it was good. It ultimately, didn't work out, and I don't need to revisit that.
Just like I told that last caller, Lal, you might need to just try again with shorter men. You know what I mean?
My blessing comes in size 5'5".
That's it.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, what's up? It's D from Jersey.
What's up, bro? Talk to us.
Peace, King.
What's going on?
Hey.
Say what up to Lala.
Hello, Miss Lala.
Good morning.
How you doing? Well, marriage. I got married 6 months ago. I love it. I wouldn't have changed nothing ever. Like, it's just a beautiful thing. I wanted to get married.
That's nice to
hear.
I
courted my wife for years, and we finally tied the knot. And it's beautiful, man. But you gotta want to be married.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta want to put in the work. This is a work. This is another job. You have to want to do it.
That's real.
If you don't want to do it. If you don't want to do it, most people stay single or go on Instagram.
I'm with you. Hello, who's this?
This is Ebony from New Haven, Connecticut. How are you guys doing?
Hi, Ebony.
Talk to us, Ebony.
Hi, Lala.
Hey.
I personally feel like it has to do everything with music and who people are listening to now.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
A lot of the music out now is portraying a lot of no love, get a whole bunch of hoes. It's just a whole lot of talk about no love, even though people are actually looking for love. Like, nobody wants to be alone. Everybody wants to have somebody, but everyone's going to get numerous of people instead of just one and settling.
But does not wanting to be alone mean you have to be married? You can get a dog. Have a little boyfriend.
Yes, that's true. That's true. You can. But what I'm saying is the view of music now is what is making people feel like they don't want to go and actually find love, fall in love, and then allow themselves to settle down.
It's a great point.
But I also would say this, growing up, how old are you, Ebony?
I'm 30.
So growing up, you heard music the same way. You could go back to Jay-Z, whether it was Big Pimpin' or Girls, 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 or some of those other songs that we grew up to as well was kind of the same thing. R&B has changed a lot, but we grew up to songs like that as well.
That's true. That is true. But I think it's a lot like the music videos are just a little bit more graphical now. And I guess people are able to express themselves a lot more.
I agree with that. And I think there was more of a balance back then.
It was a balance.
Of a little bit of both. Mm-hmm. Now it's not so much of that.
I agree. Even in R&B. Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Michelle.
Hey,
Hi,
Michelle.
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 Where you calling from?
Jersey.
Okay, talk to us.
I definitely believe that marriage, in the sense that we have been indoctrinated to believe in, might be played out, not necessarily a goal. I think you have to understand what people view marriage as, because a lot of people don't think that it takes standing in front of a judge, a preacher, or signing paper that you pay the state for to be married. Marriage is largely about commitment. Mm-hmm. Because honestly, if it takes a piece of paper for you to be faithful to me, I don't know if I want you anyway.
You don't need a ring to be my wife. What Meth say?
Just be there for me, and I'm going to make sure.
Yeah.
Look, y'all,
right.
Even for the Bible thumpers, if you look at in the Bible in the Old Testament, all it took for marriage was sex and a commitment.
Well, that's what
the commitment was what made the difference between your wife and your concubine.
You're right, but you know the problem with the Bible thump was somebody put in there that you can't have sex before marriage. So a lot of people started getting married just to have sex.
I don't think anybody put in there that you can have sex before marriage. People really got to read their Bible because that's not in the Bible. Oh. That's the thing that man has begun to tout. Because sex is the marriage, actually. So all of this about shacking, all of this about fornication, if you really understand the transliteration of the word fornication, if you are a real Hebrew, Greek scholar and you go and look into the meaning of these words, fornication is not about sex. Fornication is idolatry, idolizing other gods.
So you telling me that everybody that we've had sex with, we've been married to?
No, not if you didn't make a commitment to be with that person. Remember, there is a clear delineation. You have to make that commitment. You have to decide, because honestly, marriage is a contract between people. But whether that requires a signature from somebody at the state and a license where you're literally paying to be committed to someone, I think that's really the question.
Yeah, I see your point on that part.
Yeah.
I see your point on that part.
That's why in the new, the LeBron James version of the Bible, it says, I don't love them hoes. Because you got to be very clear about not being committed to people when you sleep with them.
What's the moral of the story? What's the moral of the story, La?
The moral of the story to me is that times have definitely changed. It actually saddens me a little bit that that's not the goal anymore for a lot of people, but we're living in a new day and age, a new way of meeting people, a new way of socializing, a new way of communicating with each other, and I do feel like you can have an amazing commitment with somebody without necessarily that piece of paper that binds you to that person.
But you did catch the bouquet at the last wedding you were at, so.
She catches the bouquet at every wedding. Lala, the best wide receiver in the game at them weddings.
The thing is, they throw it right at my face. There's nothing I can do. It's coming right towards me.
Well, if you decide to do it again, La, just know short men make better husbands. These are statistical facts, okay? You can Google it, all right? We make up in wisdom what we lack in stature. Short guys make better partners, okay? And if you marry one, your relationship is more likely to last.
Then you can carry them on your back if you need to walk around, too.
This is a fact. I'm not even making this up. Do the research.
Where did you get these stats
what facts? Yes.
Google.
Cite your sources.
It seems shorter men make more faithful partners. A survey done by Ashley Madison, which is the dating site for married people.
Is that for real?
Yes. It says taller men are twice more likely to cheat than the ones whose height is less than 5 feet 10 inches. Your blessing, ladies, is 5'6". All right, 5'5".
How tall are you?
And you know what else? Think about how when you tall, you see everything.
Correct.
When you short, I don't even see 90% of the women.
Oh my goodness.
I can only see my eye level.
I can't believe there's a stat that says that. Wow.
Get you a short man.
Wow.
That's your blessing, ladies.
All right. Well, thank you. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Hosts Kevin Hart and Nick Cannon are declaring war on Hollywood. Each week, they take you behind the scenes as they team up with their famous friends for an all-out prank war. The bigger the star, the harder they fall. Catch Celebrity Prank Wars Thursday at 10 on E!
God, we are the Breakfast Club. Now, Lala's here. She's our guest host for a couple of days. Now, we're asking inappropriate places to shoot your shot. Now, La says anywhere, anybody could get it. If she's feeling them, she's feeling them.
Boy.
It is what it is.
Lala shooting from the locker room if she got to. Lord have mercy.
Let's go to the phone lines. Hello, who's this?
This is Jay from Brooklyn.
All right, Jay. What's an inappropriate place, bro?
I don't know if it's really an inappropriate place to try to get with somebody. That might not ever have that chance again. I'm going to do something like that right now myself. But
what do you mean?
I don't take it.
Explain. Tell us the story.
I'm a cab driver, or chauffeur driver, rather. I pick this girl up every morning for work. You know, she's a teacher. She flies. She looks good. All of the above. You know, but I don't know if she likes me back.
Come on, man. You're supposed to be most deaf and brown sugar with this one.
Yeah.
I am, but you know, Uncle Charlamagne, she's fine. So she makes a little fun.
Tell her that.
Did you say anything at all? Did you say really nice to meet you?
Really.
Well, I flirt with her. I do text her, but I don't know if I'm in the friend zone or not.
You don't know if you're what?
If I'm in the friend zone, but she do call me for rides, I'm going to pick her up right now for work.
If she's got you picking her up every morning,
and texting you,
yeah,
that's a little more than the friend zone.
Yeah,
well, he's a cab driver,
bro. Yeah, but the same cab driver every morning.
No, he said, but they text. Like, it's not like she's just texting 501 pickup time
right now.
And what did she say?
It says good morning.
Hold on. What time?
She says, hey, she's gonna say right now. Wait, she's gonna say right now. Hey, you working? And I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm on my way to pick her up.
What time she gonna be in the car? Because what you can do is you can express that you like her over the radio, and then have the radio on.
Bro, she gonna probably be in the car no later than like 7:40.
All right, we got you.
I got 8 o'clock.
Okay.
All right, we got you. We're gonna play this around 7:40.
What's her name?
Denise.
Tell Denise you like her.
Sure.
Tell her.
Denise, you know this is Jay. I picked you up in the morning. I like you a lot. I know that. I pick you up. I pick you up all the time.
I'd like to pick you up for something else other than to take you to work. Maybe
I want to go out on a date.
There you go. Tell her you have another car other than the cab.
No, my car. I got an SOT 2018.
I'm sorry.
2018. All right, baller.
So you ride share?
Yeah, I do chauffeur. I got a couple.
It's not about you, Charlamagne. It's about Denise. Keep going.
Ride share. That's all. Okay, tell them Denise.
Yeah, I want to take out the car mines. I spoke to her about this already. She actually was like, when you want to go, just let me know. I'll go with you. But I don't know if that was some friend stuff.
Bro, come on. Lala, tell him something.
No, that's not a friend thing. There's interest there, so you better take that opportunity. No girl is just hanging out with somebody just because. It sounds like it's interest there.
But let me ask you one question. No disrespect, brother. You said she's fine. Describe yourself one time.
Envy's interested.
Yeah, shut up. Go ahead.
I'm full, dread, brown skin, got no facial hair.
How much you weigh?
I got a beard.
This is what you do when you
How much you weigh? Find out how much you weigh.
Oh, I weigh like 158, 160.
Oh, okay, all right, cool.
When she get in this car this morning, say good morning. It's really nice to see you.
It's
and then,
really nice.
That's
to
right.
see you.
And then count her reallys when she says it back to you, and see what happens.
All right, say that.
We playing this for you at 7:40 though.
Good luck, bro.
This is crazy. All right, I know I'm gonna get it. I know it's gonna work.
Good luck.
Good luck.
All right, bro. All
right, man.
Okay, can I just say something?
Sure.
So here's a prime example. That's a prime example. Now, if she is interested, let's say the radio comes on and she'll be calling all her friends like, this is so crazy and so sweet. If she's not interested, it's giving stalker, change address, so it's a prime example of how it could go either way. It's giving restraining
never
order.
Call him again.
It's giving never call him again. It's giving I'm moving out.
Jesus. Well, what's the moral of the story if there's a moral?
I mean, what Lala said, I guess you can shoot your shot anyway if there's interest, but I guess you got to figure out if there's interest.
And we have to also know how to read, you know how to say read the room?
Yes.
Like, guys sometimes don't know how to read the room.
That's why I asked what he looked like, because, she could be just joking and fun because he's the cab driver, but if he's not handsome, she might be like, never. You know what I mean?
But looks don't matter when it comes to guys.
Yes, they do. For a girl.
For a girl?
Yeah, yes. I'm hearing that looks don't matter.
Well, my assistant Brittany over there said her friend likes, what did you say, Britt? Medium ugly guys. And I had to understand what exactly that. She said medium ugly. I don't think you're medium ugly.
I'm medium ugly.
You was medium ugly. You evolved a little bit.
Still medium ugly.
You evolved. You was medium ugly.
You glowed up.
Yeah, you glowed up a little bit. Glowed up a little bit.
I'm medium rare.
You're medium rare now. Yeah, medium rare.
So and you know what my mom used to always say? She said, cute guys come with ugly problems. And I always remember that. She's like, you keep wanting to go after the cute guys, they come with the ugly problems.
What did your father think of that?
They're not together anymore.
That's why she said that. So what do ugly guys come with? Ugly babies. All right. We got rumors on the way?
Yes, we have some more stuff going on for sure. We have to talk about MC Lyte getting her music catalog after her divorce that she's talking about. There's a lot to talk about.
And Girls Trip too.
And Girls Trip too. Yes, some exciting stuff about that.
It's the Breakfast Club. The La said, yeah.
The Breakfast Club.
Everybody, it's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our guest host with us, Lala, here this morning.
Hey.
And we got our guest.
A person I'm happy to see, but also not happy to see.
Oh, Lord.
Why?
Yes.
He knows why.
Yes.
He knows why.
Stephen A. Smith, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome.
What up, baby? It's good seeing you, man. It's always good.
You know this man dedicated the whole last chapter to his book, damn near slandering Cowboy fans.
I'm not mad at it.
I'm like, why?
I wouldn't say slander. I was being factual. And once again, I was proven to be correct. I mentioned you on Get Up the other morning. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. These Dallas Cowboy fans, they're like cockroaches. They're everywhere.
They're delirious cockroaches.
But I told them, I said, just be patient. Everybody, they was winning games. Everybody was excited. I said, just be patient. It's coming. And sure enough, when the lights got brightest, wow.
You'll be happy to know I had no expectations for the playoffs. They'll tell you.
No,
I had
didn't.
none.
He didn't.
I actually thought they were going to lose to Tampa.
Okay. Well, you
I
do
really
understand you're an anomaly. You're an aberration.
I'm learning.
Most Cowboy fans. You're learning.
I'm learning to be emotionally disconnected.
That's what you
from my
have to
Cowboys.
do. You have to do because they're going to break your heart, bro.
That's right.
That's what the Knicks do to me. That's what the Cowboys going to do to you.
That's right.
Now, we can talk about sports all day, but you got a book out.
No, an amazing book, by the way.
Now, you go into your life about this book. Usually, you don't talk about your personal life at all. We never hear about your personal life.
never hear about your
Some of these stories that I've been hearing, I was like, really? I had no idea. So why did you decide to go so in depth about your personal life?
Well, first of all, the seat that I sit in every day doing First Take on ESPN, I pride myself in not character assassinating people. I talk about what you do and what your perspective is, et cetera, et cetera. And I got to give both of y'all props, actually all three of y'all props, because all of y'all have been authors. And the fact of the matter is the kind of limelight that y'all have been in, the seat that y'all sit in, when you start writing about something, you ultimately feel an obligation to let people know who you are, what you're all about, what your perspectives are. And so to me, to see people do that, I knew that if I was going to write a book, there was only one way I could go about doing it. It ain't some damn sports book. It's got to be about me, who I am, how I think, why I came to be, how I am, the way that I think, et cetera, et cetera. I thought I owed that to the audience. And the only reason I hesitated, once I got let go by ESPN in 2009, in 2011, people were coming to me to write a book. And I knew I wanted it to be about, my life, et cetera, et cetera. And my mother at the time, who had just gotten diagnosed with cancer, one that she lost in 2017, God rest her soul, she said, she made me swear, you will never write this book while I'm alive.
I understand why after reading it, because I'm sure it had to do with your relationship with your father.
Yes.
Which I felt like...
That's exactly why.
Yeah, you addressed the topic most men don't discuss enough, and that is our relationship with our fathers. How difficult was it to explore that topic?
It was hard. And the reason why it was hard, it wasn't the writing process, it was the editing process, which y'all all know. You write it, but they look at it, the editing process. And so when they're editing, it's calling upon you to revisit and revisit over and over and over again. And I didn't wait until a book was finished to show it to my sisters. I got 4 older sisters. And I didn't wait until the book was finished. When I wrote those specific chapters, I sent it to them. And they didn't talk to me for 2 weeks.
Really?
And I thought they were originally upset. They weren't upset. They were just saying, we had buried these memories a long time ago.
And you brought them back up.
And they said, you brought it back up. We ain't knocking you for it. We understand. But it just hurt a lot to revisit some of those experiences because we had buried them for the longest time. And the details that you had, they couldn't believe that I remembered because I reminded them. And they were like, yeah,
you never
this
forget
happened,
those.
this happened, that happened.
Yeah,
And
my
I said,
dad is
I never
no
forgot.
hero?
Yeah. My dad, he wasn't.
I feel like the things you said about him in the book are the things you wanted to say about him at his funeral.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah.
I told him to his face. I didn't say anything in the book that I didn't tell him to his face.
Okay.
So let me be clear about that. In 2018, he passed away 14 months after my mother passed away. And when he passed away, I called my sister Carmen the morning of his funeral. And I said, I'm doing the eulogy. And Carmen's like, God, no. Steve, please. Please, Steve, don't do this. Don't do this. She said, what are you going to say? I said, you'll find out when you get to the funeral. And she's like, Steve, don't do this. What will mommy want? What will mommy want? You know what mommy would say? I said, I got it. And I was going to go in. And I was going to literally say everything that you see in the book. And
you spoke to Pastor A.R. Bernard.
And I called Pastor A.R. Bernard. Something told me to call him. I've been going to CCC. I've known Pastor Bernard for 30 years. And so I said, let me call him. And I called him and told him what I was feeling. And he was like, you're right to feel that way. I'm very familiar with your story. He said, you're not wrong. He said, but the Bible talks about God's grace and God's mercy. And he said, and you might want to think about that before you decide to speak your truth. And when I eulogized my father, I went up on the stage after everybody gave all the plaudables, all the nice things, the pleasantries they had to say about him. And I walked up and the first words out of my mouth was, that's y'all memories of him. Memories of my family. We have an entirely different story. And I saw my cousin Derek keel over like, oh no, please. And I saw my brother-in-law was like, oh Lord, he's about to go in. And I saw neighbors that were in the audience that I hadn't seen in years that just showed up for my dad's funeral. And they were like literally lip syncing to me. Please don't do this. And I said, my father was not a good man. I said, but then I brought up my mother. I said, my mother knows nothing about sports. I'm Stephen A. I work for ESPN. world knows, the sports world knows who I am. My mother says EPSN, whatever it is. I don't know, but she didn't even know the letters. I said, but she knew what a home run was. She knew what a no-hitter was. She knew what a stolen base was. And she knew it because of him. Because she loved my father so much that she knew baseball because of him. I said, so there evidently was something very special about him to have a woman like my mother. And then I talked about a lot of the happy moments that he gave us. And then I ended it by saying, at the end of the day, he's still my dad, and I love him. And I don't think I would have gotten to that point if it wasn't for A.R. Bernard.
Wow. What made you change your perspective of how to talk about him for the book? Was it because you could add more context? You could add the full context?
Because I could add the full context. And not only that, I owe it, if I'm going to write it, well then, I didn't know it was going to be like 78 to 80,000 words, but I literally wrote 90,000 words. I wrote the book myself. And when no ghostwriter, it was me. I wrote this book. I did the audio. It was another voice. It was me. And I just said, if I'm going to do this, then I owe it to everybody. I mean, and because of the business that I'm in, I imagine talking to you. I can see the questions, because I'm experienced enough to know what's coming. I know what I would ask. I know what I would think about. And I wanted to make sure that I left no doubt as to where I stood and, what I was trying to say. And that's what I did.
And I have a question. So even though obviously you know how you felt when you were writing the book, because it was your thoughts and feelings, was there a sense of like that therapeutic element? Like, when people actually put the words on paper and write it down and read it and look at it, a lot of authors say, like, it's a form of therapy. It's like I finally got it out my head and on the paper.
Possibly so. I'm not saying that I didn't feel that way, but there was a bigger emotion coming from it, Lala. When my mother passed away, to see her in the grave before him and to see her deprived, she was 76 years old. My mother was at a point where let her go on a couple of cruises a year and she's in heaven. What was unforgivable to me was not paying any bills. Allowing her to work the hours you were supposed to be working, to have the obligations you were supposed to have.
So when you
that's
had
the pressure you're supposed to take off.
You said you had a conversation with him. When you had the conversation before he died, what was his reasoning?
Well, this was years earlier. I would tell you about 5 years earlier, we were in my dining room. We were in my mother's dining room. He's in there, and his older brother, my Uncle Freddie, was sitting next to him. And my father was like, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't realize what I've done for you. I said, you haven't done anything for me. He started arguing with me. And my Uncle Freddie looked at him and he said, Basil. That was his middle name, Basil. And he said, shut the f*** up. He said, this is Stephen. He's a journalist for a living. He knows what you have and have not done, chapter and verse. You have no shot. Just be quiet. And my father just sat back and just took it. And I just left it alone from there.
All right, we got more with Stephen A. Smith when we come back. Don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Everybody, it's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our guest host, Lala, joining us. Now we have Stephen A. Smith in the building. Charlamagne?
Did Skip ever get in trouble for anything he said on First Take? Because you talk about the times you...
First Take or his show?
First Take. First Take, because you talk about the times that you got in trouble on First Take. And I'm like... Well, Skip had crazy opinions too, and the opinions you had weren't necessarily like suspension worthy and stuff.
I never recall Skip getting in trouble.
Wow.
Ever, in terms of a suspension or anything like that. When I got suspended, I was furious. I did not believe I deserved it. I was pissed off to the highest degree because I just thought that, it was made into something that it wasn't. And so for me, whatever my opinions are, I don't mind anybody coming at me about that. This is what we feel about what you said. It's when they try to branch it out and turn it into something that it was not. That's what pisses me off, because what happens is when you have Disney, and I'm not knocking Disney for this at all. Listen, man, we got stockholders, got shareholders. You got people to appease. And so you got to pay attention to everybody. You ain't after black, white, Hispanic appeal. You have to mass appeal. You want it all. And so as a result of that, you have to pay attention to everything and everybody. And so when that noise is made, my boss at the time felt compelled to respond to the noise. And when he got suspended 48 hours earlier, he told me I wasn't going to be suspended.
Exactly.
We're fine.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah.
And then, he turned around and suspended me. And so for me, I've learned a lot. I'm a lot better. And what I try to do and all of y'all can attest to this at one time or another. We've all had private conversations. I'll whisper something in y'all ear about something to watch out for. I'm very, very big about these are the minefields.
Yeah.
Watch out, because what I'm saying is, as a product of corporate America, somebody that's been in corporate America for over 30 years, I kind of know where the minefields are. And so as a result of that, I might see cats on the come up that I think is going to be in my position or an even higher position. And I'm saying, come here. Let me make sure I tip you off to this. Watch out for this. Watch out for this. Watch out for that. Because I want y'all to succeed. I don't want y'all to fail. Who the hell wants to be successful alone?
Now, who the
I was shocked that Skip sat with you, though.
In
You
terms
got
of what?
suspended.
Oh yeah, it shocked me too. But he listen, he walked off the set. Said, I ain't coming back until my man comes back on, because he knew it was wrong too. But I was really shocked that he took that position. I certainly didn't ask him to, and I'm appreciative of that. Doesn't mean shoot, we still disagree 99% of the time, but I did appreciate the fact that he took that position on my behalf.
Who are the worst fans? Are they Cowboy fans?
Nobody care about that.
Skip fans? Or the Navy fans?
Cowboy fans. Nobody's worse. Nobody's worse. But I will tell you,
the Navy got at you a little bit.
Listen,
They came for your head.
first of all, let me be very, very clear.
You don't give a damn about
I don't give a damn. I want to be very, very clear about that. It doesn't faze me. It really, really doesn't. Lala, after you know me for years, I'm just built that way. Rihanna, if she had a problem, that would have bothered me. Not her fans. I challenge anybody to tell me one negative thing I said about that wonderful performer and young lady.
Are you excited for this halftime show?
I don't want to say I'm not excited. She's fantastic. That's
Yes.
not where I'm going with this.
Okay, where you going?
Ladies and gentlemen, she's a lot of things. She's spectacular, actually.
Yes.
And congratulations on new mamahood.
Yes. I sent
There's one thing she's not.
Uh-huh.
She ain't Beyonce.
Well, you didn't give no nuance to it. You just said Rihanna's
Okay,
no Beyonce.
well,
like
let
if
me-
you'd have said Rihanna doesn't perform as well as Beyonce.
Well, let me give you an insight. Let me hook you up on the inside. Sherry Shepherd's team. I'm promoting my book last Tuesday. Sherry Shepherd's team comes up to me and they said, since you're here, we want a debate-like format. We want to have fun with it. I said, okay, bring it. No problem. I didn't know what they were going to ask, right? But I said, sure, no problem. So I'm expecting a debate, right? Rihanna's great, but I'm thinking you got a lot to live up to, because there's only one Beyonce. Now, you agree, fine. You disagree, fine. How we get to the point? Why he got to pit two black women again? Really?
Well,
I just can't be a fan of both, but I prefer Beyonce over Rihanna. That's a crime.
Now,
I didn't know that.
In your book, you talk about learning lessons.
Yes.
And you have gotten in trouble for that before
Yes.
when you pitted Aisha Curry against Savannah James.
That's right. Listen, first of all, this.
Yeah.
Fair question.
Lala said, yeah.
Fair question. Lala, and I'm going to talk.
You said that take cost you the sports center gig, which I didn't know.
I'm going to talk to Lala.
I didn't know that.
Yes. Let me explain what happened. So Steph Curry is in Game 6 of the NBA Finals. LeBron and Kyrie are coming. They won Game 5 after Draymond got suspended. Bogut and Iguodala got hurt. They win Game 5. Game 6, they coming at Golden State. They down 12 with about 4 minutes left. And Steph Curry fouls out. Steph Curry pulls out his mouthpiece, tries to throw it at the official, but misses it, hits a fan by accident, blah, blah, blah. Aisha Curry goes ballistic. What y'all may not have known was that, and I love Aisha Curry. I mean, no problem, throwing no shade on her whatsoever. I'm just telling you what happened. Prior to the game, she had tweeted that she was upset because they were backed up in traffic. Now, Jay-Z and Beyonce were coming to the game, but nobody knew. So the Cleveland Arena, the Gun Arena, whatever it was, right, the Quickest Loans Arena, they held up the traffic. So she was mad about that and was talking about how the wives and the family of the players for Golden State would be an inconvenience. She complained something else about the officiating, blah, blah, blah.
Wow, now you putting Aisha versus Beyonce?
No.
Wow, Steve.
How you see so crazy, man. Stop, man. So what happened is that she did that, and then she went off after Steph Curry, fouled out all of that other stuff. What I said was, you are representing your man at that particular moment in time. Anything that you do, it's not you, it's the wife of him. And so because of that, you have to guard yourself and be careful. But now that they've lost 2 straight and LeBron and the Cavs have been giving it to them, suddenly stuff is rigged. She's an adorable young lady with an incredibly promising future. I wish her nothing but love, respect, and happiness. But you can't do that. You just can't do that. And I'm quite sure somebody got to her, which is why she ultimately deleted the tweet. My other point that I would like to make, which will be deemed somewhat controversial, but I don't particularly give a damn, I will present in question form, rhetorical or otherwise. If that was Savannah, LeBron's wife, what would we be saying? And I got news for you. As beautiful as everybody wants to say Ayesha Curry is, and she is, Savannah is something special. Skip comes back at me and says, oh, please, you know, what are you talking about? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm jumping in like, wait a minute. You will get on LeBron about anything.
Yeah.
How all of a sudden this escapes you? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's how the whole Savannah Ayesha thing came up, because what I was saying was, if this were LeBron, you would have found an excuse to jump on him. And we all know that Savannah is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. So what are you talking about? That's all I was saying. If Lala is in a public position, if you are in a public situation in the moment and there's a tension that your spouse or your significant other could potentially bring to you that could that could make it detrimental to what you're trying to accomplish, they can't get in the way of that. That's all I was trying to say.
Wow, you've been in that position.
I've been in that position. The thing is that also nobody in this room has been married to an NBA player before. Day in and day out, you're hearing about things that are going on. You're getting vented to about everything. You have emotions. You act off emotions sometimes. So every night you're hearing about this, whatever's being said, and it's just building up, and you get protective, and then something just sets you off, and you want to say something because you realize your spouse has continuously taken the high road. I said earlier, I remember a time, we talked about it before you came, when I think I tweeted something at Skip Bayless, because I was like, yo, enough with the mellow slander every single day, and he's not saying anything, and I'm just like, this is enough, because now it's affecting the household, it's affecting the mood, it's so it becomes a bigger thing that it's like, somebody got to say something. Now, is it a right time and place for those things? Of course, but when you care about somebody, when you're protective, and when you're competitive, we're all competitors, and you act off emotion, you say things that might not be the right time, the right place, but at that time, you're not thinking like that.
That's absolutely true. And my point is that I didn't blame Ayesha Curry for anything. You know, I was saying in that moment, you can't do that. I've never said a word about her prior to that, right? And so I said that. And when I said that, her response was, you pitting 2 black women against each other. And I was like, what? How we get to that?
Well, so you did, whether you realize it or not.
Okay, fine. I didn't look at it that way. But that's fine. If you're saying that I did, okay, well then now I'll correct it. I find out weeks later, the Sports Center, the 6 o'clock Sports Center that was supposed to be given to me, and it was taken away from me because of that one incident.
So what's going to be taken away from you because of Rihanna?
Shut up, man.
Nothing. And you know something? And if it ever does, fine. Because at the end of the day, there's a level of authenticity that has to come with what we do.
I agree.
I'm going to be me. Damn it, that's how I feel.
All right, we got more with Stephen A. Smith when we come back. Don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our guest host, Lala, joining us. Now we have Stephen A. Smith in the building. Lala.
So do you just feel like in your position, you really just cannot care what anyone thinks about you? Because I feel like people always want to say, like, I don't care what anybody thinks about, but there is a point that everyone does care. And everyone has a place where they truly do want to be liked by people.
But I'm not saying I don't care about what people think in general, Lala. I'm saying there are certain things we can't care about because we know it's not as unfair and as inhumane as people are trying to make it out to be. If I sat up there and I disrespected Rihanna and I said I don't care, that's a problem. Because she doesn't deserve that. She's home. She's a new mom. She's a beautiful artist. She's doing her things. Most people would dream to have the life that she's had. She's earned it. I got nothing but mad love and respect for her. If I said something disrespectful like that and I didn't care, that's a problem. That's a lack of humanity. I would never do that. What I'm saying is it's not a crime to say, I'm a huge Beyonce fan. There is only one. And you about to go on the same stage she has blessed not once but twice. And there is a standard to live up to.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. You come on First Take. I'm sorry, y'all. There's a bar that's been set. I've said it. You come on Breakfast Club. There's a bar that's been set. Y'all said it. You do what the things, all the different things that you're doing with Power and now BMF. I've seen you. I'm watching what you're doing. You know, you continue to ascend. Well, damn it, everybody can't measure up to you. Now, that doesn't mean they're whack. It doesn't mean they're not gifted. It means they're not you.
You got a line in the book. You got a line in the book that kind of sums that up. You say on First Take, we capitalize on the kind of polarization people supposedly abhor. What's the word? Abhor?
I believe so. I'm trying to remember. I read it 11 times, but I'm just saying.
That's what that feels like, though.
In terms of what?
Like what you're discussing. Like it's the kind of polarization, people act like they don't like, but we do it all the time.
But what I'm saying is this. You wake up and you pay attention. We all do it. You have a show. You know what's trending. You know what's newsworthy. You know what's percolating. And and not only that, you know who percolates. And so because of that, it determines what subject matter you're going to tackle, because you're not doing the show for you. You're doing the show for the audience you're trying to reach. And I have an audience that has an expectation as it pertains to content. And so when we're talking about sports and it's me, there's a level of expectation that they have as it pertains to the issues I'm willing to tackle. I'm mindful and cognizant of that, and I operate accordingly. And when somebody questions that, I would remind them I've been number one for 11 years. Every month, every year for 11 years. So evidently, I kind of have an idea of what people want to see and hear.
All right. I know you got to go. I got one more question because it ties into all of this. In the No Safety Net chapter, you talk about basically personalities who attack other personalities for things they say. Because you talk about, I think it was the Ray Rice scandal. Yes. Everybody got upset with what you said about that. And I feel the same way. I'm like, man, if you got a microphone in front of you, you're going to say something at some point that you're going to get backlash for. Yes. So I don't understand when I see other personalities like calling for other personalities to be fired.
Yeah, it's weak.
Cancel.
Yep. Yeah. What it is, and remember this, all three of y'all here, remember what I'm about to say. When you're winning, they always come in. Because unfortunately, particularly in this day and age, their definition of winning, the closest they can get to it, is knocking you off your perch instead of creating one for their own. Mm-hmm. It's inevitable. And it's just like when he used to call me Donkey of the Day and all of this other stuff, and people expected me to have a problem with him. When I first met you, what did I say? I had no problem with it whatsoever. Mm-hmm. You know, because he didn't attack me. He attacked what I felt about a particular issue. I know the difference. They wanted to create that divide. You're not creating that, because I'm going to root for y'all, and I want y'all to root for me, and I'm going to root for a whole bunch of brothers and sisters to make it. But in the same breath, you have to be real and authentic about what's going on in the moment that is going on. And do what you can to enlighten folks if you feel you have an enlightening point of view. That's what you do, and you let the chips fall where they may. People who don't win are real good about doing what you describe. Let them keep doing it, because it reminds you that you're a winner. Otherwise, they wouldn't be talking about you.
I learned a lot from you, and I feel like it's vice versa. I do want to say this, because I was really sitting here thinking about what we were talking about earlier, and I want to say this. It is important. Everyone can have an opinion, and who you like better is your opinion. Yes. But I will say this. As a black woman, let's acknowledge and celebrate the fact that we have two amazing, talented black women who were able to do the halftime show at the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Outside of sports, fans and players, the majority of people I know, that's the reason they watch the Super Bowl. Not for who's playing. They're watching for that halftime show. So let's acknowledge and uplift and applaud the fact that on such a huge forum, you had Beyonce and now you have Rihanna.
That's right.
As a black woman, I'm proud of that. That's something that makes me proud. That doesn't take away from your opinion on who you like more, whatever. But at that moment, for me, it's about uplifting the fact that we need to celebrate that.
Well, let me end it by saying this. I completely agree with that. 1,000%. And what you're saying and what you would prefer is entirely different than someone throwing out an accusation that my sentiment was making it a divide between two black women. There's a difference. You're just simply saying they're both great. Let's celebrate them. No problem. No problem whatsoever. That's entirely different than...
And understanding that they're both the reason that majority of people are even watching.
That's right.
You guys are watching for the sports aspect, and but majority of people are watching.
Right.
for that halftime.
But what
show.
happens is that when we question people's intent because they express something differently, what happens is then you then lose those folks that think like that because they're like, oh, here they go with this. And I'm like, no. At the end of the day, Rihanna is phenomenal, and she's got her own army, or navy, as they say.
Navy, yep.
Beyonce's got her crew. They're both fantastic. They both sell out stadiums and arenas. They're both making gobs and gobs of money, and they've earned it, okay? Much love and respect to you. Ain't no doubt about it. I ain't rooting against her. I'm just a Beyonce fan.
I think with these microphones, and it's something that we would debate to the end of time, intention versus impact.
Yes.
Because it's a lot of times my intention wasn't to offend, but then somebody like Allah got to be like, nah, you offended. You impacted that person in a negative way.
Right.
In those moments, you just got to apologize and keep it moving.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, still gotta go, guys.
Which is what I did.
Yeah.
But let me be very clear.
People didn't like your apology either, though.
Well, the hell with all that. First of all, Leslie Jones on Comedy Central, hilarious.
She got you.
So and she's supposed to. That's what she does. I wasn't offended by it at all. All right, because she's great.
Not even the hairline joke. You don't have to think about
bro,
that, like...
it's there and struggling. But I'm 55. Yeah. It ain't like I'm 35 walking around with this stuff. I'm 55. You know what? No.
Amy got it.
I might visit Hair Club for Men.
I got something.
I might visit Hair Club for Men because I don't think I'm Godzilla, but I ain't the most attractive dude in the world. But if my hairline move forward, I might have there might be hope for me. There might be hope for me. There might be hope for me.
I got some Manala rice water drops for you.
Okay. Does it work?
Does it work? It works.
It better work, Lala.
It
better work.
Charlamagne gonna try.
Let me tell you something right now, because then they're gonna get on me for getting that as another sister. Because if it don't work, I'm blaming you, Lala. I'm blaming you right now. I'm just telling you right now. I'm blaming you. I'm blaming you, Lala. I'm telling you right now. Didn't you recommend this for me? That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm telling you that right now. I appreciate y'all, man.
Thank you so much. I just want to say one last thing.
Yeah, man.
We have a new studio.
Okay.
So now we have the option to go to you when we need some questions. So next season, the Cowboys start losing, and I need to go to you for some backup or some help.
You mean like a Zoom call?
Like a Zoom, that? Right to that camera. We could patch you right in.
I got y'all.
And you could just.
I'm telling you right now. Cowboys going to the Super Bowl next year. I'm telling you.
I gotta go. I can't do it. I can't do it.
It's the Breakfast Club, man.
Y'all ridiculous, man. Ridiculous.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Hosts Kevin Hart and Nick Cannon are declaring war on Hollywood. Each week, they take you behind the scenes as they team up with their famous friends for an all-out prank war. The bigger the star, the harder they fall. Catch Celebrity Prank Wars Thursday at 10 on E!
The Breakfast Club, bitches. Donkey of the day with Charlamagne the God. I don't know why y'all keep letting him get y'all like this.
Donkey of the day goes to Carmela Ann Maines of Clearwater, Florida. Now, what does your Uncle Charla always tell you about the great state of Florida? Say it with me. The craziest people in America come from the Bronx and all of Florida, and today is no exception. See, Carmela was taken into custody Wednesday in Clearwater, Florida, after she failed to show up to court to face shoplifting charges. Now, why? No, not why. While she was being processed at the county jail, a body scan revealed an anomaly in her genital area. I don't even know why I'm using big words like anomaly for no reason. They found something odd in her genitals. I know what you're thinking. Was it a penis? All right. It can be a little confusing when someone tells you they are a woman, but that's actually just what they identify as. And then when you get down there, whoa! You're staring at a whole plate of Franken beans. But no, it wasn't a penis. Okay, it was a pipe. Right? Not the kind of pipe that produces baby batter to procreate more life, but the kind of pipe that people put crack in and smoke it. You heard me correct. Crack, fried cocaine, rocks. This woman had a glass crack pipe in her vagina. Okay, yes, when officials conducted a strip search of the suspect, they found a glass crack pipe protruding from the woman's poom-poom. Carmela then removed the crack pipe from her vagina and intentionally threw it on the ground and stepped on it in an effort to destroy the evidence. Mind you, she did all of this in front of the officers who had just discovered said evidence on her. But that's not why she's getting donkey of the day. It could be, but it's not. It's part of it. The main reason she's getting donkey of the day is because of her excuse as to why there was a whole crack pipe in her vagina. Carmela said that the crack pipe wasn't a crack pipe, but it was a sex toy. She said this despite the fact that it was consistent with a pipe commonly used to smoke crack cocaine. And it had burnt markings all over it, okay? If she was really thinking, she could have said the burnt markings came from that new strain of gonorrhea that's going around, okay? It don't just burn humans. But nope, she said that the crack pipe she got caught with, was a sex toy. Let me tell you something, Carmela. You might could have got that lie off if you wouldn't have put it in your vagina. I repeat, you might could have got that lie off if you didn't put the crack pipe in your poom poom. If you're going to try to convince people a crack pipe is a sex toy, then guess where you got to put the crack pipe? In the crack of your ass. Okay? All right, listen, man. There's a lot of people who are into anal play nowadays. All right? Cosmopolitan, I saw this article on Envy's computer. Cosmopolitan just came up. No, it was, he had his computer open and I saw it. Cosmopolitan came out with a list of the 15 best butt plugs for 2023. You got the Jimmy Jane aerial glass plug. Would you like to hear the review?
Nope.
Are we really talking about butt plugs?
This is true. This is real.
Okay.
The review was, I got the aerial, and let me tell you, wow. I was a little nervous that my inexperienced back door might have difficulty, but I was surprised when it did not. A bit of warming up and some lube, and this thing had me reaching my O. Like most glass toys, you can use it cold or warmed up, and I have to say, playing with this toy was amazing. I highly recommend this toy, end quote. That was a review. Why did I use that one? Why did I highlight that toy? Because it's a glass anal plug. Just like a crack pipe is made of glass. It's time to rebrand crack pipes, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, they can actually be sex toys. They even have the perfect name. Pipes are already slang for penis. Asses have cracks, so this is a pipe for your ass. All right, butt plugs come in all forms: silicone, glass, metal anal plugs. But the crack pipe could be a glass anal plug. I can see the reviews now on Cosmopolitan for the crack pipe. Such a great product, especially for the price. It's only $20, reads one review. Perfect for beginners and seasoned pros alike. Big enough to be satisfying, but small enough that it was comfortable to wear for a good period of time. I recommend the crack pipe to anyone. It's smoking. Boom! That's how you make a crack pipe a sex toy, Carmela. Not the way you did it. Please give Carmela Maines the sweet sounds of the Hamiltons.
You are the donkey of the day. You are the donkey of the day. Yeehaw.
Now tell me, Laliza, you don't want a crack pipe after that review. Come on now.
No interest in that or butt plugs. But that's just my personal preference.
Okay.
Whatever floats your boat.
What about you, Envy?
Want to play a game?
No, I don't want to play a game.
I want to play a game.
I'm going to be honest, man. This woman is on crack, and she's from Florida. I don't know what she is. When I look at her mugshot,
let's play a game.
Okay.
Here we go.
Let's play a game of Guess What Race It Is! All right.
Lala first.
Carmela Ann Maines of Clearwater, Florida. She got caught with a crack pipe in her vagina, and she told officers it was a sex toy. Lot Leezy. Guess what race she is?
Caucasian.
What makes you think that, La Leezy?
This is just what I think. That's just how I feel. I'm sticking to it.
All right.
Did I win the money?
Envy, yes. Carmela Ann Maines of Clearwater, Florida, got caught with a crack pipe in her vagina, told officers it was a sex toy. Guess what race she is?
See, this is a tough one.
Okay.
See, because my black people, they like to hide stuff. They like to maneuver. They don't mess with the police.
That's not just a black thing. Knock it off.
Yes, it is.
That is not just a black thing. Everybody got asses and vaginas. Well, not everybody.
What?
Most, everybody got an ass.
Everybody.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I'm going to go with white.
Okay.
Shake it off.
For what reason?
I don't know.
It's just a feeling.
Seems like
Just a feeling?
some white crackheadish stuff.
Okay. Well, Lala, Envy, both of you are right. She's Caucasian!
Yeah, I said it first.
You got it.
Yes. Definitely a crackhead. But you can tell why I was a little confused, right?
Right.
What? She looks like a crackhead. What do you mean?
Well, she don't look like a woman.
You know what? Let's keep it moving. All right. You know what?
More water, less crack.
Stupid, man.
Can't believe there's a vagina in this one.
All right. Thank you for that donkey.
The Breakfast Club.
Fear, it's a psychological thriller, man. It taps into the innermost, darkest apprehensions of a group of friends that come to a lodge in the height of the pandemic. That just so happens to be haunted, you know, and the spirits that haunt this lodge, they pull out the fears of people and use it against them.
But it's not a scary movie. They're saying it's not a.
Who said that?
Who said? This is scary, bro.
I ain't gonna lie.
No, he said he didn't feel like it was scary to him. He didn't say it wasn't a scary
because
movie.
at like 33 minutes,
That's when I cut it off. I was like, nah.
You cut it off at 33?
That was about 33 minutes. I was home alone at the time. I said, that's about 33 minutes.
Yeah, you did yourself a disservice because, right at 35, that's when it gets
I figured that.
That's when it go crazy. Nah, I mean, I think, man, it's really about people tapping into the things that you know how they talk about self-talk. You're real big on mental health and awareness, and you know how self-talk, the things you think inside your mind, are more important than the things you confess outside.
Right. Gotcha.
With your mouth, and they tap into the things that you feel about yourself.
That's why this is the type of horror movie that I feel like you could only make in 2023 because we ain't scared of no monsters or nothing. We scared of real life and what's inside our own head.
That's right. And that's what the movie deals with, is the manifestation of the consciousness. So inside the film, what happens is all the characters are dealing with something, the most unique thing we have on Earth, which is the mind. So whatever it is that you could actually manifest or see, whether that's good or bad, that's actually what you bring into your reality. So the movie is really cool that way. And it's a big conversation piece, man. We've been touring the last week now. We did like 5-6 cities, and every time we screen the movie, it's it's been like an hour Q&A after every one about what the mind is doing and how it's doing it. And a lot to do with mental illness too, man. So so it's dope that way. And the end, I think, is just spectacular, man. Like the message we give, which is, how do you defeat fear?
So and filming this was horrifying. Dion made us sleep on the floor. Like, we didn't have no trailers.
Don't sleep on the floor. Hey, look, bro. Hey, man, I told him I would go ref it. I mean, like, reffing it for me, though. You know what I'm saying? But I will tell you that the lodge we filmed on really is haunted.
Yeah.
It's not haunted.
No, it is. The story that they told, that was real shit.
No.
Yeah, that story, that lodge with the killing of the witches and all that shit is real.
Y'all didn't sleep there, though.
Yes.
Y'all slept at that lodge?
At the lodge. Yeah. There's this really
they
lodge.
Horrible. Yes,
we
they
slept.
did.
Crazy.
Yes, they did.
They did.
What'd you see, Terrence? Did you see anything when you was there sleeping?
So I'm not when I pulled up my mattress, there were spiders that came out from the bed. They had to change like the bed that I was in. Like, it was terrifying.
That was actually crazy.
Yeah, it was terrifying. It was terrifying.
So you still stayed there after the spiders came under your mattress?
I'm a method actor, baby.
It's so helpful.
No,
though.
but you guys
Really
got to remember, this was the first movie that was shot during the pandemic. So we actually went to the CDC and had the conversation with them before they started doing the bubble and all that. We were the first ones to do it. We were actually driving test results to LA and back every day.
That's how he got us all there.
So that's how we were able to get there. Joe Sikora drove from New York to Lake Tahoe to do this film. Terrence, Tip, everybody came down and descended into one location so we could make the movie. Originally, I was going to do it with a camera phone, and then I got a little bit more risky and was like, man, I wonder if I could call it a real DP and really shoot this. And so what I think is really great about the film is, in between takes, you will see, when you go see the movie, why it's called Fear is because you could really see every actor in there really dealing with something. Because this is at a time where we didn't know. So now everybody's cool, now everybody tough, now everybody know everything. But this is when we were watching CNN and 10,000 bodies every day. We were saying, you know what I mean? It's that moment. So to be able to do that film during that time, and shout out to Roxanne, man, for producing the film during that.
Absolutely.
But we did it, man. And now to have a movie that looks like this and feels like this, fresh, new, it's pretty dope.
That's dope.
And that's how he got us all there, because, you know, he called me and said, hey, man, I'm going to shoot a movie. I said, man, ain't nobody shooting no movie. He said, nah, I'm going to shoot a movie. I said, all right, when? He said, like, Thursday. I'm like, huh? And that's what happened. Really, it was as I guess, as spontaneous as it sounds, that's exactly how it went down. And as soon as I showed up, I saw Terrence. And it ain't like, you know, I got to show up and prepare and go to wardrobe. Like, I showed up, hey, what you wearing right now? Hell yeah, let's go. First scene's coming right up. The campfire scene, that was like 30 minutes after I got there.
You got there.
Really?
But I love that. I love that. There's such a grittiness and it's so authentic when it's done that way. Like, when you just in the trenches shooting a movie, it's a labor of love. Everybody's just putting their best foot forward. It's not about the hair, the makeup, the clothes. It's really about just digging in and getting into.
And you got to be
character.
a beast to do that.
Yeah.
He a dog.
So you thought to yourself, Dion, let's use no budget whatsoever.
Well, that's what the film represented was the moment in time we were in.
Mhm.
So even when Tip got there, I
Yeah, come close to the mic.
Right, right when he got there, and I looked at him, I was like, "That's it. This is the moment. This is what he looks like." You know what I mean? And yeah, no budget at all. What we were trying to do was just be raw and be ugly, and capture what it felt like during that time. But the twist is, when you go to the theater, you'll understand where we're going with this, because, like I said, fear is a powerful emotion, and it can manifest in a very, very hurtful way. So what I thought was really cool about the movie is, as we keep growing it and growing it, I was saying this the other day, like, during that time, and even now, like, you feel like, oh man, I feel like I got a little thing right here. You go online, you start searching, you go down the rabbit hole, for you done diagnosed yourself on
you're about to die.
on
Absolutely.
WebMD.
I do it all the time.
Right? So you be like, I got this. And so this energy is in this film, right? How we perceive television is in this film. How we perceive everything that we consume and how we regurgitate it is in this film.
All right, we got more with T.I., Terence J, and Deion Taylor. You know that movie Fear comes out tomorrow, so don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Come on. Everybody, it's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with T.I., Terence J, and Deion Taylor. Their movie Fear comes out tomorrow. Now, Lala was joining us during this interview, so let's get back to the interview. Now, you talk about the campfire scene. That's the scene where you guys start talking about your fears.
Yep.
So let me ask you guys, in real life, what is your biggest fear? Start with you, TJ.
My biggest fear is just not maximizing my full potential. Waking up an old man and looking back and feeling like I left something on the table. And so that's why every morning I get up, I'm like, I don't want to leave anything behind in this life. So that would probably be it.
Is that why you let Nia Long walk in front of you in Dubai?
What?
You don't want to leave her behind?
You want to leave her behind?
What was it?
Nothing romantic. Nia Long is my sister. That's family. That's my sister. No, that's like my sister. How did this even go left? That's like my family. When you see Nia Long, when you see Lala, you gotta open the doors. You know what I'm saying? Nia Long is a national treasure. She must be protected at all costs.
Now, what about you, T.I.? Your biggest fear?
I think my biggest fear, man, is not being able to be there for my kids and my loved ones when they're depending on me, when they need me. And not even just not be there physically, like, just not be here to guide them and direct them and, offer my I guess, experience, knowledge or wisdom for them to get through whatever they might be challenged with. I think that's my biggest fear.
Yeah.
I think my biggest fear is like constantly trying to wonder if I'm gonna be here in 10, 12, 13, 14 years for my kids. Like, I'm like, man, I want to be here when they turn. That's something that I keep on messing with, and that's something you gotta not do. You gotta live in the moment right now and understand that, every day is a blessing versus you trying to live for what 20, 30 gonna feel like. You know what I mean? So it would be time for me. And what's crazy is we deal with all this in the film.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the movie, you did the whole airborne virus that got people stuck in the house. You know what I mean? But then also, I'm not going to give it away, but there was a lot of people who committed suicide during that time. When was all of that? Did y'all tape all of that during that 1 year? Or was that stuff y'all did after the fact?
We did it all in the 15 days we were there.
Wow.
So we were really ahead of
covered a lot.
That moment.
Yeah.
That's why I keep telling, that's why the movie is being received the way it is, because what you just hit on, which is, we were actually ahead of that curve a little bit, where we were like, man, just thinking it out loud, like Tip, Terence, you know what I mean? Like how it happens is pretty dope.
I think it was like July.
Go ahead.
What was it, like July 2020?
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it
like
took
right
a
there.
long
Everything
time
started hitting the fan around March, April.
February is when it started going
February,
crazy.
Yeah. We put all the money on the screen. So it's like, when he asks you to participate in something like that, you want to get paid 6 figures to be in it, or you want to invest 6 figures and have a seat at the table. And so that's the beauty of what Deion's created with this is we're, producers, complete profit participation. And I love that because it's all about, bossing up. It's all about us working together. It's not reaching up. There's no studio handing us down money. It's completely self-financed.
But it doesn't look independent. For anybody out there, it does not look independent.
It looks great.
Like, if they didn't tell me that right now, I would have never thought that watching
It
it.
feels
Like,
Get Out-ish now that I think about it. That's why, you know, the people in Get Out, the actors, they got...
They throw a shot at Get Out in the movie.
They
your
got
mouth
equity.
your mouth to God is. You know what I'm saying?
Terence J
Come
threw a
on.
little. Is this Get Out in the movie? A little bit.
Lil Rel told me they bought his check with a armored truck on a pillow. I'm dead serious. An armored truck on a pillow in a box. His first royalty check from Get Out.
Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, but I think like what this represents, I think everyone talks a good game about this black excellence and building our own, but it's very seldom, man, that we actually really work together.
I was gonna say that.
And people don't want to have that conversation about like, you know, working with people that look just like you. And especially in this industry, man, where people are actually the ones that look like you could be the most cutthroat, you know, and the most people that'll push you away. So very cliquish, you know what I mean? So for us independently, man, this took us a long time to be able to build this. But now, like movies like, you know, Black and Blue and Intruder and, you know, all these other films we done made. Supremacy, yeah, with Mahershala Ali and Danny Glover. Like, now to be able to do it at this level and now also be inclusive and work with other people, this movie could go much further than I could throw it based on the fact that these guys could run faster than me too. You know what I mean? So this should be like the new brand of what we're trying to build in Hollywood. You know, which is really everybody working together and building something and owning something collectively, not just one person getting rich or getting empowered. So if this movie works, we do it again, and then we do it again, and then these guys actually participate, because right now no one owns IP.
I was gonna say that's what's so important. And one thing about you, Dion, is you're always about giving those opportunities to people to us, you know, people that understand what our day-to-day lifestyle is like. And I think it's amazing to provide those opportunities to all of us for ownership, and just also to kind of, I've learned a lot from you, like just learning from you. And I know just watching how he works is like a master class, and to be able to be a part of that. And then, like he said, take that blueprint and do it again and do it again. That's what it's about, providing more opportunities for all of us out there to continue to grow, and then put us in position to provide more opportunities for more people.
You got to have that. It's a reason why people are like, man, I haven't seen Jack Nicholson work in 25 years, but he's sitting on the front row of the Lakers game, right? It's because he owns stake and equity in Batman. Keanu Reeves, The Matrix. You know what I mean? So you could go on and on how these guys are able to actually be a part of something, but us, we always get it up front. You know what I mean? And now in this system where everything is streaming and they own everything, you really don't get no IP or equity. So now you're going to get paid all the money right now, and then you're going to watch that for the next 20, 30 years. Your kids going to watch that. So to be able to participate like Rel did in the Get Out, or have percentage, I'm sure he didn't invest, but they gave him equity in the movie because he came in a small budget movie. But this is different, man. Like, this is ownership. So when you see Fear this weekend in the movie theater, and you're right, it looks fantastic. Shout out to Chris Duskin, you know, the whole VFX team that worked on this. When you see that, just understand when you buy that ticket, it is actually going back to a black production company and back to these guys who put their money up and they own that. So in 5 years from now, when you watch Fear, it's theirs.
So now we can buy some cars for Envy's car show.
Envy.
Some extra cars for the car show.
Loan us a
Who
got the most cars?
Got a T.I. and Envy?
Yeah.
T.I.?
Hell nah,
T.I. I was going to ask, so were you bored during the pandemic? It was like, I got to shoot something. I can't just sit on my ass. Like, was that where that thought process came? Because we were all home doing nothing.
No, Dion was calling everybody. We was on the phone with Charlamagne 6 a.m. every morning. We got to change the world. We going to do a like Dion would be
I
out
got on a couple Zooms with you during the pandemic.
We did great, man. We were active.
Dion was leading the charge on the
it wasn't even entertainment stuff. It was politics.
I think all of us, you and me and Killer Mike and Tamika Mallory, I think we all just, everybody knew something big is going to come out of this.
Right.
You know, we just wanted to be a part of whatever was going to be on the other side that was going to be financially beneficial or even just culturally beneficial. And I think, you know, in our own way, everybody did. You know what I mean?
A lot of people didn't make it to the other side. I'm saying that physically as well as mentally.
Mentally, yeah.
A lot of people did not make that jump.
Y'all show that in the movie.
Yeah.
Some people wanted to make it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some was around them just wasn't, you know, they just wouldn't let it happen, would they? I ain't gonna say too much.
All right, we got more with T.I., Terence J, and Deion Taylor. You know their movie Fear comes out tomorrow, so don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
We are The Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with T.I., Terence J, and Deion Taylor. Their movie Fear comes out tomorrow. Now, Lala was joining us during this interview, so let's get back to the interview. Charlamagne?
Deion, how important is, like, just mentorship? Like, who taught you? Like, you giving the game to people, but who taught you?
You know what? I wasn't taught. And I think that's what really helps me to be who I am today, because it was so hard for us for 17 years. Every time we went somewhere, somebody tell you no. You don't know how to actually do something, so you have to learn on your own. I just remember, man, 2-3 times having a metaphysical death in my life. Where I'm like, damn, man, like, I thought I was doing this right, but I've collapsed. And later on in life, I ended up meeting Robert Smith, who became a real mentor to me. But I was already on the move. He already seen that. But yeah, that's why
the richest black man in America too.
Yeah,
by the
but
way.
that's why I just come from a place, man, of like, man, we could just show and educate. And I know that's not normal, but you know, we already said, man, the game is to be sold, not told. And I've always been like, no, man, you get a game away for free so we can learn and move forward. That's the bottom line. You know what I mean? It should not be this thing where it's only one. And we've had this conversation. I've seen Kevin Hart have it. I've seen T.I. have it. Terrence have it. That's a reality right now. It's only one. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, how do we get past that? And then how do we also celebrate people that's actually winning, man? You know, we was talking about Joe Sikora, 50 Cent on the way over here, because Joe is a really big part of this film. And I was just saying to myself, man, do you guys understand? We do as a culture. But do you understand what this man has done in television?
Talk about 50?
Yeah.
I don't think people understand.
They don't.
50 on his black dick whoop.
Yeah, but at the same time, why does the country not understand that? And then why is he still being in a position where he has to fight for what he right? Like, this is real, man.
I think it's no value in black content. Yeah. We value it, but I don't think
we are the
value.
It's in somebody else's hands.
True.
They try to devalue it when we own our own content.
Well, his numbers is better than every other show on the network. So what does that mean?
But that's also why it's up to us, like everything that we're talking about, because obviously 50's been a mentor, and I've said a million times, I'll say it 1,000,001 times, 50 changed my life by the opportunities that he's always provided to me. But then you'll see people be like, oh, she did Power, now she on BMF, she just do everything where 50's at. First of all, I'm loyal, and second of all, like, this man provided me so many opportunities, so that's who I'm going to stick with. I'm going to stick with. You're mad about that, or that's not the right thing, but some other person gives me opportunity. Yeah, you should go do that. You should go do that, because like T.I. just said, it's value when we give it to somebody else, but when we have it, it's just it's not value.
Man, they criticize you till they copy you.
There you go.
That's real. No, what Tip said, it makes a lot of sense, because I'm thinking about like somebody like Norman Lear.
Right.
You know what I mean?
If Norman Lear called you every time, no one would say anything.
Yeah.
Judd Apatow.
Yeah.
You know,
that's right. I would be praised everywhere.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking too, Tip, you know, who's mentoring the young rappers in Atlanta? Because you talk about your growth and your evolution, and I feel like brothers like you who made the transition from the streets, you know, to corporate America, got to get these young brothers some game, because it feels like they just throwing it all away.
I'm always here, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm always here. I always try and make myself available whenever I can, and I believe that the mentorship is, you know, it's present. It's present, man. You know, you got institutions of culture like Grand Hustle, QC. You know, you got free bands. You got street execs. You know, it's a lot. So Def. You know, you got a lot of OGs that, you know what I'm saying, that reach back and still make sure that the conversations are being had. You got Killer Mike. You got, you know, CeeLo. Yeah, of course, Jeezy. Everybody like does our part to make sure that if there's some information that a young man or a young lady needs, that they know where to find it. Places like the Gathering Spot, places like the Trap Music Museum, places like Trap City Cafe, where you just show up and just happen to see somebody hey man, how do you, like a person like pulled up to the cafe or like, how do I copyright my music if I can't really afford a lawyer? And I was like, man, you know, I just used to, I don't know if they still do it like that, but I just used to put my demo in the mail and mail it to myself.
I don't know where
Hey man, I teach the way I would talk. You know what I'm saying? If you, I mean, that's what I learned. You know.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
This is a question for you too.
Into the mic, Dion.
And you, this is interesting. Could you when you name Killer Mike, yourself, QC, all these different brands, organizations that has pioneered rap, is there a way to actually unionize hip hop?
Wasn't somebody trying to do that?
They've been trying to do it for
so
many.
But why they trying? What I'm saying is, you could actually do that.
I think it should be done, and the reason not only for that, for conversation and growth, but also think about all the artists that get older in age.
That's what I'm saying.
Then,
with a pension,
don't have health care, or, don't have the finances they need, don't have retirement. I mean, I think that would be a great thing.
I guess you'd have to look at other industries to see how they did it, because that's out of my spectrum of education. I guess you'd have to look at like the film industry and see how they did it way back in the day.
Because those old artists have nothing.
Right.
Right? Like they've been used through the system, through the studios.
Some of them don't own their music.
Nothing.
And their records get sampled.
So they gotta wait for they gotta wait for the 50-year hip hop to get a check. Right? So that's crazy, man. Like you should, as smart as you are, man, you should dive into that.
I mean, bro, I hear you. It takes participation. You know what I mean? Everybody got to be, willing to come together. I see most of the time our people, if it ain't our idea, you know what I'm saying? If we didn't think of it first, like, a lot of times people don't really want to participate, collectively. But it is a phenomenal idea.
And it's going to be resentment to the artists who aren't doing well. But then, why should I work with the artist that is doing well?
Well, then you just build it without them. Right?
Yes,
I mean, you don't get in, right? So, anyway, that's interesting. We just
you got to pay your dues for after, so it's the same thing. You pay your dues yearly, and then when things happen, you get health insurance, you get retirement.
We need that. We need that right now.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Yeah, we need that.
Last question. Dubai.
Uh-oh.
You got a chance to see Beyonce perform.
Looked amazing.
There was no cameras. Supposed to be no cameras there.
Look how Charlamagne looking at you. Look how he looking at you. He want to talk about it. He want to know. He want to know what's happening,
so break
man.
down that performance. That's 70 what? $4 million.
I just saw Nia Long. I was like,
$24 million. You Nia Long watching Beyonce go.
No.
I saw you with Nia Long.
A bunch of different
Did you go there with Nia
celebrities.
Long?
No,
You sure you ain't go there with Nia Long? I
seen
you watching.
You got in a fly ass ride
Where's the
share with
main
him.
cameras? It's the main camera.
He did lick Jessica Lange's leg.
Long at all. Stop.
sorry.
No, a bunch of celebrities went out there, right? Nia Long is a friend. A bunch of friends. We're all out there. We're hanging out. Incredible performance. This is the biggest launch in the world. They launched this hotel, the Royal Atlantis. Nobu launched it, a new restaurant. It was incredible. We all went out there. Beyonce looked amazing. She looked impeccable.
Looked amazing.
Voice. Obviously, Blue Ivy came out. All the vibes were there. A very theatrical performance. So this wasn't single ladies dancing type Beyonce. This was Halo Beyonce, right? Very classy.
Beyonce,
very, you know what I mean? Yeah. So the outfits and the wardrobe was masterful. She came out. She went on this little platform. Had the wind and the water hitting her. It was amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Water hitting her.
They had these sprinklers hitting her. There was fire. There was fireworks coming off of the building. Everybody was out there. It was a vibe.
I just had one question when I seen it. Why not 25 million? Like,
the number was reflective of not just the payment to her, but it was a whole production around it. You know what I mean?
Around 24?
Yeah. So this.
So it's $24 million all in. Remember we said that was all in.
I thought it was like $1 million an hour.
And I don't even think that was a number. I think the number was actually more. I think like the bigger number was somewhere around 45 million. Like it's the biggest launch. They wanted to outdo the original Atlantis
That's
launch.
Somebody you can honestly say, man, she deserved that.
Absolutely.
She worked her ass off all throughout the year, 100%. Man. And when you see Beyonce, you gonna get a show.
Yes.
So it's certain people we just happy to see those types of numbers go to.
And you expect it.
Absolutely.
And when somebody else is like, man, why I can't get 24 million? Because you got Beyonce.
But back to the Nia Long question. We have to celebrate our queens. we have to make sure when they step out,
whatever you want to call it, Terrence.
You know, when I see, when I see Gabrielle Union, Niecy Nash, Megan Good, like we gotta celebrate our icons. You know what I'm saying? Lala will tell you. I don't care where I see. I will deflect to my sister any day. Did y'all fly there together? What?
I didn't know. I'm asking Terrence. I'm asking Terrence. Y'all flew on the plane together. I'm asking.
Man, no.
Shout out to me, man.
I told Mario staying there to throw everybody off. I know what the hell going on.
You told Marion to not come.
Ladies and gentlemen, this weekend, January 27th, and Terrence Long is the breakfast.
No. There's nothing wrong with being Terrence Long. This is it.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Hosts Kevin Hart and Nick Cannon are declaring war on Hollywood. Each week, they take you behind the scenes as they team up with their famous friends for an all-out prank war. The bigger the star, the harder they fall. Catch Celebrity Prank Wars Thursday at 10 on E!
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, you got a positive note?
My positive note is simply this, man. Instead of ignoring loss and trauma or moving quickly past them, we can choose to slow down, sit with each loss, examine it, grieve it, because it's better to sink in and experience it now than to find yourself drowning years later in losses that had no voice.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?